again, I think most of you think that you're the badass if you do a body part 2, 3 times a week. Right now, we're doing a body part twice a week, but that's because we're slicing down and we're only doing it for 10 weeks.
Slicing down. Yo, like, this is all bullshit. This is talking out of the ass. This is the opposite of education. This is not even bro science. This is, I don't even know what this is. What is up? It's your boy Johnny Street 5 BB Promos and Tell Like It Is. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to react to Greg Doucette reacting to Michael Hearn. So Michael Hearn basically does a Q&A. So Greg broke his Q&A down. So I'm just basically going to save myself time and just react to Greg's because he's already broken down all the questions that Mike's asking. But this is one of those very important videos to do for the fitness industry because there's a lot of things wrong with this video that, you know, some of you guys might not be following Greg. I don't know, but you definitely didn't see this. So you guys need to see it so you guys have way more awareness when it comes to the fitness industry and what to listen to and what not to listen to. So let's go ahead and break it down, give you my 2 cents on how I feel about this video or the points made.
And so in today's video, I'm going to give you the actual answers you're looking for. You're asking Mike what to do about this, what to do about that, of which he doesn't really know the answer. He tells you what he thinks. And so I'm going to watch his video, and rather than answering with nonsense, I'm going to give you the correct answers.
What kind of questions do you guys have?
And so Mike's reading over these questions. He's going to pick the questions that he feels like answering.
That's very true because when I do Q&As, I pick the questions that I know are going to have the most, I would say, impact or draw, or, you know, I pick the questions that are the most interesting and fun. So like 100%, you're doing a Q&A, you're probably going to pick the ones that you want to answer. No one's going to pick the ones that can't answer. I just...
Don't listen to what I say because I'm not as good looking as Mike, and I'm a hobbit, aka a manlet.
And that's where the hobbit is always wrong on his knowledge. Be careful of these guys that just regurgitate information they read when the visual of them.
Okay, so that is like... So number one, don't let people emotionally get you charged, and don't react emotionally charged, which is what Mike did, which make him really vulnerable to say very dumb things. So I know Greg, I'm about to say, I know Greg, so I can say exactly what's up when it comes to that. It's a stretch to say that Greg is just regurgitating what he knows. Greg is actually educated in his field of what he's talking about, period. Mike isn't. 2, Mike making that point of, you know, the way he looks, you know, don't listen to someone who has their master's in kinesiology if he looks not as good as me. That is like the biggest problem we've had for the longest time in this industry, is people getting bamboozled by good looking people. Like literally, it's like, oh, that guy or girl looks better, so they must know more than me. And I remember the a little saying, you know, all someone has to do is know 5% more than you, and you think they know everything. And they probably might only know 5% of the thing that they say that they know. You put that with like a good looking face and you're like, oh my God, he knows everything. And that's why you have like Liver King and V-Shred and all these other people, Michael Hearn, right? So yeah, bad advice.
Because remember, Mike states you can only be as good as the person that you're listening to. And where my physique is below average, why would you listen to Coach Greg?
I mean, like, you know, like obviously Mike hates Greg because Greg's done so many videos on him. So I understand Mike's, you know, emotions in terms of like acknowledging Greg. My opinion on this, on the sort with that is like, don't acknowledge it. Like that has to like scream insecurity that much when you get bugged that much that you have to respond that way. Like literally, it's like, yo, that little hobbit who's a IFBB pro and has his master's in kinesiology and, you know, came top 5 and whatever, he doesn't know anything. But me, I know everything because I look real good. You know, dumb.
Well, Mike, way better than that. Why? Well, because Mike is a meme. I mean, how can I compete with a meme?
I have discovered through the years of judging and being in the health and fitness world, the hamstrings are so much more important for 2 reasons.
And so Mike has discovered that through his years of judging and training, I don't know which competitions he judged. I personally am a certified bodybuilding judge. I actually judge at competitions.
So if you're looking at like at your hamstrings objectively through a a competitor, like a bodybuilding judge's mind. It's a very important piece of the puzzle in terms of symmetry and balance. But if you had really good hamstrings and not really good quads, it wouldn't be good. So hamstrings aren't more important than the other part of your leg. Most of the issues that happen with people's knee problems is they have overactive hamstrings and an imbalance in the quads or the muscles surrounding the knee. If I put it this way, coming from someone who has an ACL deficient knee, which means I do not have an ACL in my knee. All right. So how have I been able to be, play at a high level of college football and bodybuild and not have an ACL? Well, two things. I have extremely strong hamstrings, but I also have very strong quads. My legs as a whole are very balanced and very strong. So it keeps my knee in place in terms of it helps do what my ACL's job is supposed to do. There is no muscle more important than another muscle. That's the dumbest thing I've heard in my life. So when it comes to the first couple things that I'm hearing from Mike O'Hearn right now, and look, I'm not trying to look, I'm gonna tell it like it is. I'm not gonna say shit because I'm worked up about whatever. I'm just telling you guys, if I hear something that's nonsense, I'm like, yo, bro, look, man, you can say, oh man, you a hater, you just hating on Mike because nah, dude, I get it. There's been a lot of bodybuilding or fitness people who've been basically grandfathered into a place of stardom and I would say hierarchy. It doesn't matter what they do or what they say, you're gonna believe because they've just been here for a long time. It's not good enough, right? There's actually knowledge, proper information and science behind everything that we're doing.
A lot of top IPV pros from the rear, they don't have very impressive hamstrings. I, for one, my hamstrings are my best body part. Yet, Mike O'Hearn says Coach Greg doesn't know anything. And so if in fact it is the hamstrings, well, I got it made.
And let me just say something right now. As a judge, because I am a certified judge as well too. Me and Greg both were certified together. We scored with flying colors. And when it comes to judging this picture I'm seeing here, Mike's legs are very imbalanced. Just being honest. This is being objective. His calves from that picture are not that good, and his hamstrings and abductors are great. You can see from the front, very full. That's probably guest posing, whatever. But when it comes to quad development, I guess I could see why he would say that his hamstrings are the most important thing ever, because he lacks in quads. Oh, I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'd give up on sleep and do the training.
Guys, girls, circles. I didn't write the script.
So here's the thing about that. We've already talked about this on the channel enough about sleep and how important sleep is. You can even head over to the Dr. Mike Israel's, RP, Renaissance Periodization channel and check out someone who is a master's PhD in exercise physiology. Sleep is massive. Now I get maybe he's saying I'm giving the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he's giving his experience of him chasing his dreams back in the day. So in order for him to look the way he looked and to be able to do all the things he needed to do in terms of getting into casting roles, whatever, he needs to train early and get it done and over with so he can really focus on that. So he had to just choose one of the others, going to be train or sleep, and he's got to work out. So still bad advice for himself, but even if it was just for yourself and you're kind of giving your experience of what you had to do to get to where you're at, it's still not something where you take and use for advice, because we all know that sleep is the most crucial thing for everything. Literally, you will lose gains, halt gains, get sick, have bad mental health, not digest your food. I don't know, all of the things that we do when we sleep that are extremely important. When you sleep, that's when the body can recover. That's when it can rest the brain, let you go off into your REM sleep and go out and dream about something while your body just sitting there just doing all it needs to do while you sitting off dreaming about something. It is more important to sleep than to get up early in the morning and train. That is extremely bad advice. That's not hating on Mike O'Hearn advice. That's extremely bad advice. If my dad said that, or my mom, I'd be like, Mom, you're wrong. You need to sleep. And I tell my mom all the time, Mom, stop getting up so early in the morning to pray. You need to sleep till 4, 8 in the morning. My mom will be up at 4 in the morning. Go to sleep at she's 80, y'all. My mom will go to sleep and she works. They're not ever gonna have those type of women and like people ever again. What my mom, my father, that era is like, that's an endangered species. When they're gone, God rest their soul, that is it. You will not have that type of human ever again. My mom will be up working her butt off. I don't know what she has to work. She's 80. She's retired. She's doing all this prayer stuff, whatever. And she'll go to bed maybe 10 o'clock, maybe 11, and then be up at like 4 in the morning or 3 in the morning praying. It's like, Mom, go to sleep. Like, if I'm telling my mom, get your ass to sleep and go to bed, you know, you can get up and pray. Like, God, listen, God's gonna be like, go to sleep, man. Like, go to sleep. I'm here when you get up. We can pray. But like, if I'm telling my mom that, sorry, Ahern, you're wrong. Like, it's extremely wrong.
Reverse grip bench is the best movement for arm wrestling. Thank you.
Oh yeah, I would 100% agree with that. That's gonna make you so strong. Those elbows and stuff, yeah.
Reverse grip bench for arm wrestling will be okay, guys. So before I started bodybuilding, I'm a strength and conditioning coach. My job is to help a person get better at their sport. So we do things in terms of training to help improve their athletic performance, whether it's like skating faster, jumping higher, running faster, you know, cutting quicker, all of those things. And on top of the strength conditioning, like the strength part of it, I coach before bodybuilding. I even had a podcast with Jordan Shallow and, you know, the Muscle Dog, who is a absolutely amazing rolling out strength conditioning coaches, you know, pro athletes, NFL athletes, massive names. And a point we both agreed on was don't stop turning training stuff into performance stuff. You know what I mean? Like, putting dumbbells in your hands and punching isn't going to make you better at punching if you're a boxer. Your power and force comes from how quickly you move your hip, your core control, all that stuff. Putting like that in your hand and like actually trying to do like conditioning is one thing, but like trying to be like, oh, I'm gonna get faster at swinging punches if I put, you know, whatever weights in my hands, or like jumping with stuff on your back or weighting yourself down to do, you know, plyometrics. Those things don't work. So like using a reverse bench, which is an elbow flexion, to create internal rotation strength makes no sense at all. It makes no sense. Like, if you think about what's involved in arm wrestling, all right? Arm wrestling, right? So the arm is going to be in this like position like this, like you're going to be almost flexed. You're kind of pulled into, it's like a lot of shoulders, you know, you're doing a lot of, it's like a lot of this. It's a lot of very strong internal rotation. It's this, right? Being strong here, grip, this, right? And there's other things. But at what point in this does a reverse bench make any sense? Wouldn't it make sense that anything like, you know, and you've seen Will Tennyson do videos on it. You've seen Jesse James do videos with you know, guys warming up and training. You've seen it. Have you seen Ed even do a reverse bench press? I think one of the best arm wrestlers in the world is from Canada. I don't know if I've seen him do reverse bench press, or like if he was like, hey man, what do you see your go-to, you know, exercise is to get you, you know, to be better at arm wrestling? And he's like, yeah, dog, guess what it is? Like, what? Reverse bench press. No, he's probably not gonna say that. He's probably gonna take something that involves him doing this, because that's how you get better at the sport. That's how you get better at your skill. You do the skill stuff. You practice doing the skill, right? You don't get better at catching a football by doing bicep curls. You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't make any sense, right? Wrong. That's a wrong answer. I'm just being, you know, I'm just giving my 2 cents as a coach. Let me chime in on this stuff.
The linguistics was too deep and too depth for me, but a great study and discussion from Mike Mentzer.
What did he just say? You know what though? Like, it's like the linguistic was too deep, too you know, too much for me to understand. That just is like, you didn't understand what he said. Like what are you talking about? What do you?
And remember, Mike is saying there's a beautiful study. It was so amazing, but I don't understand the linguistics of it. It's above my head. I didn't really understand the article, but what it talked about is how many days should you rest between body parts? You know, should you rest 2 days off, a week, 2 weeks, 72 hours? What's the answer? Well, let's listen to Mike.
But he talked about from 7 days to 21 days a body part.
Mike's saying that Mike Menser said, you know, every 21 days, that's how often you should train your arms.
Guys, you guys been in the channel enough times. You watch me, probably watch Dr. Mike, probably watch Jeff Nippard. You probably watch a lot of other good coaches and channels that have a wealth of knowledge. And we all know that 48 hours, man. Like, you know, that's why you can train, you know, push pull legs. By the time you train the next push session, you should be pretty much healed by then. To train once a week to 21 days?
And again, I think most of you think that you're the badass if you do a body part 2-3 times a week. Right now we're doing a body part twice a week, but that's because we're slicing down and we're only doing it for 10 weeks.
Slicing down. Yo, like, this is all bullshit. This is talking out of the ass. This is the opposite of education. This is not even bro science. This is, I don't even know what this is. This is the deliberate defiance of putting out proper information. If you don't know, just say you don't know. I'd be pretty much good with Mike's being like, hey man, look, I don't know how I look like this. I just look like this. I'm sure we all, whatever, right? Like, yo, all right, cool. You speculate that he's on gear or not. I don't really care. You know, do I think he's on gear? Look, man, I have a confirmation bias. I'm telling you like it's this right now. I can't say someone is on gear or not, but having said that, I have a confirmation bias. I've been around bodybuilders for 10 years. I've been around people who've done steroids for more than that. I know what steroids looks like. I know what's achievable as you get older. So if it whacks like a duck, quacks like a duck, walks like a duck, it's a duck. So for me, I'm gonna be like, yeah, he's not natural. Period. I'll leave it at that. But that's why he looks the way he does. Literally, he's genetically gifted, like extremely genetically gifted, and he uses. Period. Those two things. And trust me on this one, there are a lot of people out there who actually have no clue what they're talking about. They just look really good and use gear. Period. Like, I'm gonna pull the wool. I'm gonna unmask everything. I'm open Pandora's box, guys. This secret's out. There's a lot of people out there that look really good that have no clue what they're talking about. Surprise! And they're on gear. Surprise! Like for me, I'm not surprised because I see it and it's very obvious to me. And from you guys, it's not. Sometimes it's not that. You know, it's not that obvious. So like, yeah, I gotta chime in and be like, hey, look, if you haven't seen this video and you're a fan, you're getting bad advice. That is not good advice. To not sleep, to only train 7 to 21 days in a muscle group, to I don't only listen to people who look really good. What else did he say? Like it's bad. Like this is like extremely bad advice.
Stretch all before or after a workout.
During the workout.
During.
I stretch within the exercise that I'm performing.
And so should you stretch before or after workout? Mike's response, you stretch during the exercise. During the workout, and you stretch the exact muscle you're training on that exact day. And so what does the research actually say? It says to stretch a muscle after you've trained it.
All right. Like Greg's gonna say no to. I'm gonna say like should you stretch before and after? What do I say, guys? Do some mobility work, a little bit of like, you know, stretching in terms of like, you know, doing your set, getting the full range of motion, maybe doing some like overhead passes, some scapula, you know, openers, you know, some cars, you know, some circular articular rotation, you know, shoulder rotations, whatever. I say all the time, and then after you stretch, work on your mobility on that stuff. No, you don't want to stretch, deep stretch in your workout. That stretch reaction, you will lose it. You don't want to sit there and stretch for days before you work out. You need to have that elasticity to be able to push a bench up, you know, to do chest, squatting, deadlifting, bicep curling, tricep extending, whatever it is. You don't stretch through your workout. That is bad advice. You stretch, like I said, a little mobility before, to warm your shoulder up, get it a little loose, and then, or your hips, or your knees, whatever it is, and then you start into your workout. Then after you do some static stretching later. I've been saying that.
The question was, is calisthenics good for building muscle? No, it's not.
And next question, are calisthenics good for building muscle? Mike's answer, no, they are not.
That's so wrong. Like, here's the thing. Like, where do you think most beginners will start from? Like, there's a point where, and I coach some calisthenic athletes. There's a point where you will start off not being able to lift anything. There's this actually kid that I coach his mother. Really skinny kid. And he's like, I want to start doing calisthenics and doing like, all those, muscle ups and blah, blah, blah. The kid put on some muscle, I'm telling you. Like, of course you can. There will be a point where calisthenics, you'll get to a point and you're not going to get that much bigger. Like, you got to make sure you're eating as well too. Like, all those things play a part. But when it comes to muscular adaptation, and you go from a beginner to doing muscle ups, you have grown a back, some biceps, shoulders. You definitely 100% can grow muscle doing calisthenics. That's insane. Could you imagine? Someone's like, I'm not going to work. I don't want to work out, and just, beginners like sees, Chris Area doing like muscle ups, turns on his channel, is like, I want to be like him. And then no muscle at all, and starts doing muscle ups. And he can do all of a sudden he's doing the bar tricks. He's one of the bar boys, whatever those dudes are. But puts on zero muscle. Like, this is talking out of your ass. Like, this is straight up like, you're talking out of your ass, man. You know nothing about what you're talking about. I didn't think it was, like, when I watched I watched the first, like, 2 parts, because, like, sleep. And I was like, I'm gonna make a video just on sleep. And I'm like, and I'm literally watching the rest of this with you guys. This is bad. I didn't think it was that bad. Like, sometimes, like it's bad. It's really bad. This is extremely bad. I'm doing pull-ups, and that's still benefiting me. Wow. We're gonna keep going here. Is there another question? This is bad. Oh no, there's another question.
And so here's the question. I'm going to lay it out for you. Love this, Mike. I've always been active. So guy's active, lift weight. He's doing everything right. Except his diet, that's his problem. Any advice for that? Mike's advice, you should work out less, stop being so active, and then eat right. And so, yeah, instead of doing cardio lifted weights 6 days a week, work out, do cardio 3 days a week, and now eat right. That's the solution. And so he should burn off fewer calories, don't go to gym as much, decrease his exercise need, his metabolism, and then just suddenly eat better. Do you know what's going to happen if he does that? He's going to eat worse. Think of it. Go to the gym, being active. That's using up a lot of his free time, his boredom. When you're bored, you're more likely to eat. So you're telling him to reduce his activity, going to cause him even more bored, and even more likely to eat poorly.
What the fuck? Hold on a minute here. Yeah, I didn't read that. This is 100. This cannot be real. Like, this is not. Let me hold on a sec. You're the GOAT, Mike. I've always been active. However, my diet has always been my biggest problem. Any advice for that?
If you have to give me a choice, I'd be less active and I'd eat right. I would skip workouts to make sure I eat right.
What? So you're already like, when I have consults, I play therapist in a sense. I just sit back and listen to what they say. I'm gonna listen to all the things they say and what they're trying to do to get in shape or to, get to their physical goals. And I'll listen, and quite frankly, all the time, most of the time, everyone's got down, like, they're training, 6 days a week. They're trying to, they're training 4 or 5 days a week. What, men and women, they're doing that. But they're struggling with, like, cardio of some sort or whatever. It doesn't matter. And within that little conversation, I'll find out what wins they are already hitting. Like, where are the wins? Where are we already winning? Because let's reinforce the wins, and then we'll find the places where we can get better, where we can optimize, right? So I always remind the person, hey, right now, dude, you like this guy, Chima? What I would say to you is like, hey, bro, check it out, man. The best thing right now, we all know, he's just active. I'm like, yo, look, man, the best thing about this whole thing is that you're already active, which means that you already have the motivation to get up and work, right? And I always say the thing right now is just that the energy balance is a little off. Your equation's off. So how can we get better? Well, your diet isn't that good. and you're not doing that much cardio. So let's try to make some behavioral changes. Let's increase your cardio. Let's just try to do like, no, you don't like cardio? That's cool. How about we try to start off 3 days a week? Let's just do like 20 minutes, 3 days a week. Once you can hit those 20 minutes, 3 days a week, and it gets easy, let's increase it to maybe another day of just 10 minutes to start, and we can increase that day to 20 minutes, or let's just add another like 10 minutes to that day. Whatever it is, great. And then now let's try to make some other changes when it comes to your nutrition. I know right now you're not gonna be able to just change habits right off the bat. You can't just, go from not eating that good and your diet being an issue, and that's obviously a habit. So we're gonna make some behavioral changes. So what meal do we not do that good at? Oh, you skip breakfast and you have a pretty, late breakfast / lunch that's not that good. How about this? How do we make sure that we prep and have a morning meal ready? Something very easy. What is it? You don't like cooking? Do you like shakes? Yeah, of course you can have shakes for sure. No problem. There's no problem having shakes. Easy to make a shake. You like peanut butter? You do? Oh, cool. Easy to make a shake with good calories in there. How do we do like a scoop of protein with some almond butter, with some almond milk, maybe like a tablespoon of peanut butter or almond butter, put some like, a cup of berries in there, slam that back and go in your day. And then your next meal you already have ready, because those are 2 meals we're going to prepare at least. And then by the time you get home and ready to go to the gym and you have your meal at home, at least we have 3 meals that we're getting in, instead of that like one really crappy meal and then that only second meal at nighttime. At least now we're getting 3 servings of protein. That's cool, Johnny. Yeah, man. That's it. Let's just try that to start, right? You know what? If you have an issue with that, why don't you get a one-time plan and then book consults? Or why don't we just try that out right now and just, book a consult in like 4 weeks and just try to make those behavioral changes and see how far that goes. That's my advice. It's not gonna be like, hey man, hold on a second, You tell me you active? All right, you active. So you go to the gym 6 days a week and you train really hard, super intense? All right, good, perfect. All right, and your diet's crappy? Oh shoot, you doing any cardio? You're not doing cardio either, and your diet's crappy, and you can't lose weight, but you're training hard? Look, man, let's just peel back on the training. Let's maybe do 3 days a week instead and focus on eating food. Yo, man, I'm just being honest. I'm being clean honest. I don't watch Mike's stuff that much. I don't. But when I come across stuff that is like that absurd, if I was like, yo, man, I'm gonna do a video on the worst fitness advice you can get. These are all the answers that I would have present. This exact video. Do the complete opposite of everything that he said in this video, guys. Like literally, like this is bad. You guys already know what it is. You guys are on my channel. You guys see what I put out. You guys see the people I collab with, and we all say the same thing. We speak the same language in a different, interpretation, but we say the same thing. We're giving out quality, practical, logical, educated advice. I give you my opinions on certain things when it comes to what's necessary to get to your goals in terms of training, nutrition, mental health, cardio. I'm going to give you the science. Period. Unfortunately, Mr. O'Hearn, that's bad, man. That's super bad, guys. Guys, let me know how you feel in the comment section. But let me know if you I know you guys don't agree with it, but let me know your thoughts below. Let's just talk about this. Like, what other advices have you heard from people that have just been completely off? Let's chat about it. Let's have a conversation, and maybe in that group down there, maybe the community, we can enlighten some people and educate more people through this video. Anyway, guys, some more videos, guys. Check these ones out. Also, guys, get my Push Pull Legs ebook. It has been updated, upgraded. Those who already have the book will get the new book, and those who want the new book, get it right now. It is up and ready to go. Also, guys, my nutrition ebook will be out next week as well. And that is it. So for now, you know how it is, guys. Iron sharpens iron, progressive overload your life. In the meantime, keep dream chasing. Peace.